Hi, in this video, I will show you how to use depends on methods in TestNG. So depends on method is used to depends one method on another methods. So this is useful sometimes because there are, let's say that one test depends on the other, and you can use that with this depends on method. So the best way to explain is through the demonstration. I'm pretty sure that after demonstration, you will have a really good, clear picture of what depends on method. So depends on method, as I said, it's basically used to depends one method, depends the execution of one test on another test. So let me demonstrate that through a live example. So let's create a class, and I'm going to call this class dependency. Okay, so dependency, and let's see that create a method, and let's call this method, for example, open URL, right? Open URL, and let's just type in a text, and I say opening up the URL, right? So this is one, and then after that we can say that public whoop, and then we can say that, let's say login, right? And I can say that login into the website. And what, let's do something after we log in, right? So let's say, for example, click on main menu, right? So we want to click on the main menu, and we can say that clicking on main menu. Okay, so this is it. And now what do we do after that? Public void, and then, so let's say that after clicking on the main menu, we want to log out. Okay, so we want to log out, and let's type in here, oops, logging out of the page. All right, so now as you can see, these are the method, right? But if you think about it, first we have to open up the URL. If the opening up the URL is not successful, then we cannot log in, right? So as you can see that this method highly depends on this one, right? If this one doesn't work, if the opening up the URL, if the URL does not open, we cannot log in, right? And in the same way, if we first we have to log in to click on the main menu. And also this method log out depends on the login, right? So first we have to log in so that after that we can log out. So how we can do that, right? How we can use this dependency? This is a pretty easy. There is, as I said, there is a method called depends on method, and then here you can specify your method. Depends on which one. For example, I can say depends on URL. Now this method will execute only and only if this one is successful. If this one fails, now this one will fails as well. Okay, so in the same way, as I say that this method highly depends on this one. First, we have to log in so we can click on the main menu, right? What we can do again, we can say that depends on method, and now we write the method name, right? Login. This method also log out depends on the login. First, we have to log in so that we can log out, right? What we can do, again, we can say depends on method, and here we can say login, okay? So right now, they are all successful, and let's run the class, the entire class, so that we run all the test cases. And as you can see, opening up the URL, logging to the website, main menu, and logging out of the page. So here, as I told you that this method login depends on open URL, right? So as I say that if this one fails, this will not be executed. So how can we test that? Okay, so I'm gonna fail this test. Okay, I'm gonna fail this intentionally. I'm gonna fail this. Okay, so I can say that assert equals, and I pass 2, and let's say 7. So 2 and 7 are not enough, are not equal. This test case is gonna fail. So when this one fails, as I told you, this one login is not going to work because this one depends on the execution of this one. So let's run this. Let's run the entire class. Okay. All right. So as you can see right now, the method, these two also ignore. These are these two, right? Because this method login depends on the open URL. Open URL fails. And then this two depends on the login. So login does not get executed, and then in that case, none of this gets executed. So now if we pass this method, right? If we pass this method now, all the methods should be executed, right? All right, so now let's see. So there you go. All the methods have been executed. Now let me show you another example. Right now, these two methods, click on the main menu and also the logout, right? So these two methods depends on this one, right? Depends on the login. Now, if we fail this method intentionally, right? If you fail this method, assert equals 2 and let's say 5. So they are not equal. This method should fail, right? Because 2 and 5 is not equal. Now, these two should not be executed. Why? Because as you can see, depends on method login, and also this one depends on method login, right? So these two depends on this one. Now these two should not be executed. So let's run this again. All right, so now opening up the URL, open, it worked. Now, the other test cases did not get executed. Why? It's, as you can see, say ignore, and they're all been ignored. Why? Because this one fails, and when this failed, this two also depends on this one. So only one test case has been executed, then the rest of the three has not been executed. And if you pass this again, all the test case should be executed. Depends on method is pretty straightforward. This is very easy, but this is also useful sometimes that you can depends one test method on another test method. That's it about depends on methods. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.